Already some of you might be wondering, who is this Asian guy and what's he going to talk about? Or maybe some of you might be still trying to figure out where I'm from. Like, what's my ethnic background? Or maybe you've already decided for yourself that I'm just some Chinese guy the second you saw me, and any opinion you form will just filter through whatever you may or may not think about Chinese people. Or you know what? Maybe you don't give a fuck, and you're just looking at me like I'm see-through. It's interesting. There's so much that happens in that instance when you're face to face with someone new. We make assumptions, we connect the dots, and we judge them too. We assume, or we don't know because they're not one of us. Why is that? Maybe it's natural, a survival instinct to possibly get a grasp on this possible threat we might possibly have in front of us. Nah, that sounds dumb as fuck. It's all prejudging, making assumptions. They say we make assumptions based on what we know. Truth is, what we know is false. We don't know shit. Knowledge is power, ignorance is bliss, but not being aware of that fucking ignorance is dangerous. What I'm trying to say is, for the longest time, I've been struggling with my identity. My identity that's been distorted by a broken mirror held up by other people. How the world thinks of me and what they see when they look at me. How they label me and how that's affecting me. It's funny that people are often surprised I'm not the kind of guy that they expect me to be. You know, I've never had anyone be able to guess what my ethnicity is. Probably because there's no references, to be fair. But I don't think that we're that rare. But let me help you out. So, I'm not Vietnamese, I'm not Korean, I'm not Japanese, Filipino, Thai, or Laotian. I am, that's right, you guessed it. Thank you for noticing. I'm Cambodian. And half Chinese. So let me tell you what that's like. I guess it feels like being born half black and half white. Because the differences in experiences in America are like day and night, or better yet, like black and white. I say that figuratively and literally. I'll be glad to elaborate, but first here's some history. From April 17th, 1975 to January 7th, 1979, an estimate of over 3 million Cambodian people died during the genocide. My father would say he even remembers on that first day. They put a gun to your head and say, tell me your story. If you were a politician, a soldier, a doctor, an artist, any kind of professional, were educated at all, owned a book, or you could read, if you had an interest or talent, anything other than field work, if you didn't come off as a complete fucking idiot, then you die right there. Yeah. This type of heartless killing went on for 3 years, 8 months, and 20 days. I was amazed when I looked up the list of genocides organized by highest death toll. I didn't know, but it goes Holocaust, Soviet famine, and the Cambodian genocide. I guess I wasn't really surprised. I mean, we lost half a nation. And after that devastation, some of those who survived fled the country in search of new life, still running, dodging bombs and bullets while clinging on to new life. But if you moved as a group, most didn't make it, or at the very least, you lost a parent, child, sister, or brother. Then if you did make it, settling in the urban communities of America was like leaving one war zone and coming to another. So the pain continued, and they were forced to suffer through it. We were scattered throughout the hyper ghettos of the Bronx, Long Beach, California, and Lowell, Massachusetts. And just like so many black and brown families in these marginalized communities, Cambodian people fell into the same cycle of extreme poverty, low education rate, leading to unemployment, and gang affiliation, prison, death, and for some deportation. Now here are the statistics. 95% of refugee families either work blue collar or live off welfare public assistance. And a significant part of that last group are households headed by women that lost their husbands and fathers and children during the genocide because they killed mostly men. Women that came here alone had to play both roles with no man. Adapt to be breadwinners because for women, wage labor was never custom in their homeland. When I think about these women and how it was for them at the start, it breaks my heart. Like, what the hell? Here we are with all this trauma and PTSD and mental illness, and we're just expected to excel. Because what? Because we're Asian American? But other Asian American subgroups would label Cambodians as dark, uneducated, poor, and dirty. That's a fact. My own Chinese family were racist against themselves. What kind of fucked up shit is that? Maybe that's why we always had a fucked up view of identity. It's like those here who were Cambodian no longer wanted to be. Like it was too much of a burden to bear. No love from Asian Americans, no love from America. And after the genocide, it probably felt like God didn't care. God isn't fair. And now I'm here and I got to deal with people calling me a model minority. Man, get the fuck out of here. Cambodian people fell victim to the mischaracterization that's generally applied to the larger Asian American population. But what you do not know is positive stereotyping Asians as a whole places those who do not fit the mold into positions of alienation and heightened social stigma in fucked up situations. That's why for me, I was always ready to fight and fuck you up if you say shit. Maybe that's why the only time I ever saw Cambodian pride was in the form of some gang shit. So those are the ones I looked up to. They weren't the best role models, I know that now, but at least they were proud. All this separation and alienation made me not want to be Asian, a proper Asian. I used to lie and hide my Chinese side so other people wouldn't think too highly of me. I just hated these fucking stereotypes, even if I know deep down, they didn't apply to me. But it would still bother me when I would hear this shit. Just because I look like this, I'm forced to just have to deal with it. Like even silly shit. Asian people are so quiet and polite and they don't speak up enough. Okay, like, so what's up? I'm speaking up now, motherfucker, listen up. I may be quiet sometimes, but that's just because I'm a quiet guy, not because I'm Asian. Believe I'm gonna speak if I need to, if I want to. But sometimes it's hard to. Especially today when we talk about race, sometimes I don't know what to say. Because I feel like Asians don't have a say in that conversation. For a long time, the conversation has always been black and white. You're either black or you're white, choose a side. And before I even realized I was black, my black friends would call me that. I never gave it too much thought. I mean, it was all jokes, but I heard it a lot. Nah, Rob, you a nigga, they would say. But the compliment they thought they were giving me was also taken away. Who I was never trying to be. I couldn't be nothing else. I was happy they accepted me, but between you and me, I was barely accepting myself. When they labeled me black, what they were also saying at the same time, what they were saying was that I wasn't Asian, or what they thought was Asian. So I don't blame them. In their own way, they were just showing love. But I already had a lot of self-hate, and it was only building up. Only recently I really wondered, where did the reference stem from? Because they thought I was cool? Well, Asians can't be cool? Or was it how I spoke, or dressed, or behaved, or where I came from? I came from poverty, gang violence, in a broken household. Is that why they call me black? For the first time ever, I told someone recently this is what I thought about. And then boom, he hit me back with some shit I never thought about. He said, as a black man, if those things are what's associated with being black, he also struggles with being called that. What I didn't understand is I was still thinking of black as stereotypes. But being black or being Asian, it's just who you are, not how you are. I'm sitting here conflicted with my friends calling me black, but they were struggling with being labeled too black or not black enough. And I fucking feel that. It's either I'm too much or I'm not enough. That shit's rough. We're all trying to redefine our identity and what it is for ourselves. As a Cambodian Chinese American, I just want us to be fully proud again. Cambodian people used to be kings. We built some of the greatest wonders the world has ever seen. We have a 3,000-year-old culture. Just like anybody, I just want who I am to be a source of pride, not an excuse for failure. I came from an entire generation not looking to thrive, just looking to survive. Conditioned to when they looked up at the sky, it always just felt a little too high because they were just happy to still be alive. But I want more than just to get by and survive. I no longer want to hide. I want to embrace Asian American pride, all of my Asians, not just my Cambodian side. Pain don't hurt the same, but all Asian Americans and people of color are diverse groups with diverse experiences and challenges. And the challenges, we have to craft our own narratives and document our unique experiences on our terms. Take up that space and say what you got to say. And whatever happens, happens. Fuck it, let the chips fall where they may. Because what I feel is important, and clearly, I really be feeling the way. So, good, bad, right or wrong, whatever it happens to be, I really don't give a fuck because it's still 100% valid, even if only valid to me. So to be absolutely clear, if you didn't get it yet, I stand here proud as fuck and I ain't even finished yet. I'm gonna be loud and rowdy and never behave myself. I don't need you to save me, bro. I'm gonna save myself. So fuck you and your sympathy that you be giving me. trying to pity me, trying to belittle me. Bro, you trying to fucking imprison me. Nah, mini-me. I'm Austin, and I'm awesome, and I got the power. And with that, to everyone, I just want to say, remember what you heard, what you saw here today, how it made you feel, because it's real. When you go back out into the real world or whatever, the next time you want to judge someone or say something about a person of color, remember this. Remember us. We in this room are real. Not what you're creating in your heads, but this. As I stand here today, this is real. No matter your race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, the list goes on. Whatever you're assuming about that person, you're wrong. Listen first, because we all got a story. And now I told you mine. And 40 years ago in my country, I would have died for it. But not this time. What a time to be alive, right? I'm just so grateful to be alive for it.